What's good, man? Your boys is back in the building for another episode of the Hip-Hop Uncensored Podcast. Let's jump right into it today, man. So, this Jay-Z thing was crazy. The Roots picnic was the other night, and it was amazing, man. Jay-Z did some sets, but he also came at a lot of people, bro. He came at, Drake. He came at Jaguar Wright, Nicki Minaj, Dame Dash, Oskino.
Yay.
Now, I wanted, you heard it. Mm-hmm. So we can kind of, let's start with Dame Dash.
Wonder how I get the blade. Niggas' teeth is tumbling out their mouth, and somehow I'm the one who.
And pretty much was saying, like, look, dog, you had the bag. Think about this, Sam, man. This man, they had a $300 million company. You had it.
Yep.
How could you keep talking about Jay-Z and what he didn't do and what 20-something years later? You had it, dog. You dropped it. That's just what it is. You could say, oh, the corporate people. Nah, dog. You made bad decisions with your money. Period. So what's your thoughts? Let's start with Dame Dash.
Dame Dash, man. So when I look at it, and I looked at what Jay said, and then I looked at Dame's reaction, and obviously he was going to give a reaction. And when you ain't really got much to say, you joke and you clown. You know what I mean? So he threw up the goofy shit, joking, clowning, whatever. But what it told me is like, if he would have just, like, I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. I don't know if that relationship would have ever been what it once was. But if Dame Dash would have simply stood on his code, and not ran his mouth and not talked about another man's business over and over and over again, maybe that Roots picnic that we saw on Saturday would have been some sort of reconciliation where we could have seen these brothers on stage. They ain't got to start Roc-A-Fella again. We ain't got to see them hugging and kissing, but it could have been something that's grown men. We're going to let bygones be bygones for one night. We're going to allow the culture just to celebrate and eat and just be at the top of his game, and we're going to show the world that we can allow bygones to be bygones. Because he had people on that stage that he wasn't exactly the greatest, the coolest with. He had people on that stage that he had drama with. Yep. But when you see grown men and you see time allow itself to heal, and you see just time to just be able to have its space, that reconciliation can occur. But it didn't. And right. We got to look at why. And it's straight because we've seen Dame Dash talk about his kids. We've seen Dame Dash talk about this conviction or these alleged convictions and all this shit. Mm-hmm. We've seen him kind of throw out the innuendo that he was messing with little girls.
Yeah.
And when the TMZ, not the TMZ, the Music Awards, the MTV Awards was out in 2001. You want to sit back and act like you don't know when you was hand in hand and side by side with the nigga the whole time. Very weird behavior from Dame Dash over the years. And when you allow years to just fester, and what it also showed me that Jay-Z is human just like the rest of us. Mm-hmm. And he was quiet, and he allowed people to say shit. He even heard Dame Dash say, hey, if it was me, I wouldn't be quiet. Being quiet is hurting him in this situation. Mm-hmm. So he finally responds, and oh God, I wouldn't even say it was, you know what it reminded me of? Deaf poetry. When a brother just sits back, it was no music, it was no cadence, he was just flowing off the top.
Right.
He fucking delivered a poem and left hip-hop in shambles.
Yeah.
And it just, when it comes to Dame Dash, it just goes, damn, man, if you would have just simply shut the fuck up and just left it alone like you were originally saying you would do. You didn't want to talk about Jay, leave Jay's name out your mouth, but then a couple of dollars started get thrown in your pocket, and it was Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that, every goddamn time we seen you on the goddamn computer. Right. So what it told me is, that God, if he would have just shut the fuck up, maybe they could have allowed bygones to be bygones, and we could be celebrating the culture as opposed to talking about how Dame Dash fumbled another exceptional and just amazing opportunity to still be relevant in this culture. I hate that we're sitting here talking about Dame Dash in the same relevance as we talk about a DJ Akademics, a Bobby fucking Smurder, a Oskino Sparks, when we should be talking about him on the same level as Jay-Z. But he put himself there.
Yeah, and people, they made their bed, you got to lay in it. You thought Jay-Z was been quiet all these years, and the interviews and things like that, started to add up financially, and that became your only relevance. So you stuck to those guns. Beanie Siegel didn't. Beanie Siegel made amends, and he was on that stage. And that's not the end all be all, but you guys were all signed to Jay-Z, bro. You all had an equal opportunity to make something shake. And if it didn't happen, it ain't his fault, yo. It's not another man's fault what you do. You had the ball, you had the bag, and a lot of people made well with it. And everybody's not made always go to those high levels, but to continuously berate a man, talk about a man, entertain him with children, and anything that negative these guys are entertaining in these interviews, and Jay-Z's hearing this shit, and Jay-Z threw his shots, and he's going back into the sunset. He's not going to sit up here, and go back and forth. He ain't beefing with Drake or none of that, shit like that. No, he said what he said. and he's moving the fuck on. And that's when DJ Akademics, man, this dude, bro, is totally like, he can't get Drake's dick out of his fucking tonsils for a minute.
That shit's in his ass.
This dude had the nerve to sit up on here, and I got the audio. I'll probably put it in the edit. You know, he talked about how Jay-Z lost to 50 Cent. He lost to Prodigy. Like, dude, I was listening to Wayno. Wayno was like, this dude got here in 2001. We was in high school then. If you known that era, you know damn well Akademics don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
At all.
But Drake, he saw that OVO chain and Drake endorsement got this nigga losing his fucking rabbit ass mind, dog. It's sickening. Like, if you're going to be a commentator and you don't show a bias, just keep it real. I get it. Everybody got their biases, but keep it a bean. At least tell history the right way.
Right.
But he can't even do that. You know what I mean? So, next, man, Jaguar Wright. He threw a little shot. And to me, he was just laughing, whatever the case may be. He knows what it is with Jaguar Wright. Hers wasn't as harsh as the other ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what's your thoughts on him going at Jaguar?
He don't take her serious.
Exactly.
He don't take her serious.
Exactly.
And you could tell that the shit that Dane was saying bothered him.
Yep.
The shit that Ye said bothered him.
Yep.
Other shit was more so competitive, like who the fuck you think you are, fucking what Hove. It was some competition shit. And that Jaguar Wright was just like, I'm gonna bring it up, but it was a P. Like, I mean, it was nothing. You know what I mean? It was minuscule. I stepped on an ant in that situation.
Right.
And I got Questlove in the building. I'm in Philly. Let me go ahead and throw this jab and throw this sub. Like, he's better than he's probably the greatest ever at subliminal shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you introduced me to that weirdo. Fuck you. So she got off light, if you ask me, but it shows me that he just really didn't take any of what she said serious. And I don't think a lot of people did. Entertaining is fuck. And I take responsibility on the behalf of our platform, because we ushered in and introduced Jaguar. I don't want to say introduced her to the world, but introduced her to this interview space. I'll definitely say that. Introduced her to this interview space. It had nothing to do with Jay-Z at the time, and it kind of just blew up into, I'm going to talk about everybody in the industry that I've ever even looked at. So
well, she told her story, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that from your perspective
at all.
But I think once you get, again, this interview thing, when you start getting paid, you're going to fabricate a little bit. You got to keep it spicy for people to keep wanting you to come on the platform. And if I always said, if you made your living, you made a bag talking about somebody, you see people are going to continue to do that. Because if you make $20,000 a month talking about Jay-Z or $10,000, why would I stop? And that's what you see people doing, and it's ruining a lot of people's credibility. Even when you look at a guy like Oskino, he made his bed, he stood on the street principle, he was going at Neef, but now it lost him opportunities. You know, maybe he don't want those opportunities.
Shit.
But it lost him opportunities